Good morning, everyone. How are we all doing? First things first, and this is the decider of whether I launch myself out the window. Let me check the audio. Okay, it sounds good. It sounds good. That's kind of a big moment to kick things off. Woo! Woo! Okay, so good morning, everyone. Welcome to Twitch.tv forward.
For the time being.
Yeah, for now. Just we'll take every moment as it comes. So for those of you that may have joined us yesterday, well, you didn't because we had no content yesterday. Fuck's sake. We were going to go live at 10 a.m.-ish. And then it got quite late for our 10 a.m.-ish. For those of you who don't know, we do go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish. As you can tell right now, it's 10:58, so 10 a.m.-ish. But yesterday it was like closing in on 12 before it looked like we could even get live because I was looking into an issue that I have with the audio. So if you've been here on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, you might not see it as much. You've probably seen some instances of it over the last couple of months or so on. But basically, it's kind of a roll of the dice. If we start the stream, I might sound good, or I might sound what the chat calls Poundland Wally, which is like, I sound like I'm in water. It's kind of like, welcome to the stream, my name. And it's like really, really odd. Anyway, I've just done myself an injury there. I'm an old man. I can't deal with this. Yeah, tried to fix that. There's loads of other things. Apparently, there's audio hitching, which could be caused by CPU overusage. Not necessarily overusage, but if your CPU is quite high, then it might start to struggle. I mean, I was always about 80%, which is kind of normal for a CPU, really. It's kind of, yeah, especially if you are playing a game, running a stream and having Bib on a Discord call like we tend to do, or even not with the game. It could be enough to just make your PC work hard. So I assumed it was that. Anyway, done everything in my power to try and stop that, skim down file sizes and active files in Streamlabs OBS. Looked at potentially moving to OBS, but that only dropped the percentage by like 5% or something like that, which is kind of neither here nor there. Anyway, looking through yesterday, I realized that the audio kilohertz that you use, I won't go into too much detail, but basically your devices can either work at 48 kilohertz, 44.1 kilohertz, or other different levels. And if they're not all at the same one, that could cause it to have an issue. So anyway, I was trying to look through that, and I had an issue in Windows. Surprise, surprise, Windows has an issue with microphones. So I had to do a Windows update to be able to look at my kilohertz settings to try and fix Streamlabs. But Windows updates just kill everything. Anyone that's a streamer or anyone that follows any streamers, you've probably seen them at some point in their lives. If they're a long-term streamer, you will have heard them mentioning the dreaded words of Windows update, killed everything, need to start again, or something like that. And that is where we were yesterday. Managed to salvage a lot of the stuff. So there was most of the stuff we got back into Streamlabs. I just had to figure out how to reverse engineer some stuff with the microphone. So hopefully it's good. And when I say good, I mean hopefully we actually have a working stream today. If that all works, then hopefully looking forward, we can look at the idea that maybe we won't have the audio hitching. But yeah, fun day, no stream, everything fucked up, and I took it really, really well and wasn't at all growling off stream like the Graham growl. So yeah, it may have been happening. It may have been there, but that is what it is. Anyway, Bib, how's things?
Good. Very good. Okay.
I think good, but not necessarily between us. Not in terms of I'm falling out with you. I mean, maybe I am. Maybe I am. I mean, in terms of our connection then, because there was a long old delay. Exactly.
Let me drop out then. 2 secs.
I'll read. Everyone else who is in the chat, welcome in. Oh, you can see my humour there. You see, this is the Discord call that I have with Bibby. See that red E? That's the show Bibby that I'm ready for the call. I'm red E. There you go. Anyway, Bib.
You explain that because I had no idea what the fuck that was.
It's a red E. Hey.
I just did the money E underneath.
Is that what it was? No, that was me saying red E. Ready. Anyway, welcome in. Good morning, Lake. Good morning, Yeehaw. G-Quads, how's things, dude? Welcome back. Chucky Boy says, morning, guys. I don't know if he said that. He could have said it a bit more maniacally, to be fair. I don't know. But good morning, Chucky. How's things, dude? Have you played any State of Decay? G-Quads is here from our State of Decay stream the other day. So me and Bibby streamed State of Decay for the first time on Monday. We'll be playing a bit more of that today as well, actually, after the scoop. So if you want to see some gameplay, stick around for that. Feel free. I mean, we've got the intro out of the way. I am still absolutely 100% a noob, so we will still have a learning curve. It will probably be frustrating for people that have played a lot of the game, but yeah, feel free to join us for that. Return of the Max says, I'll read Northern Lads. Sort Windows out after shitting itself. Windows updates are right next to cockroaches, and Java updates. They'll survive a nuclear fallout. It was infuriating because I had to run it, because if you go to your sounds thing that's usually in the bottom corner of your screen down there, you can edit your sounds devices, your playback devices, and your recording devices, and I just couldn't get into the recording tab. I had to do a Windows update to release that because there was a bug. Anyway, I had to do it. So it was just one of those things where it was probably about an hour and a half of an update, just sending Bibby like updates, 12%, 24%, 60. Oh, no, it was infuriating. Oh, cat! Bibby's going to release the cat. Bye, cat. How much? Okay, should we start a quick poll? How long do we reckon before Bibby has to get back up again to let the cat back in to the room? What we're saying. Anyway, whilst he's doing that, let me jump into the introduction of the show. For those of you who don't know, my name is Graham. Hi, how you doing? This is Bibby, and we are Ice Cream Uploads. And in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, your daily dose of news for the world of video games and beyond. And some people may even say the UK's #1 video game podcast. I mean, we are those people. Still counts. Anyway, we're going to give you our thoughts and our impressions on the biggest, the best, and breaking stories from the world of video games. We want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. So if you're in the chat, please feel free to get involved with those thoughts and impressions. And it's important that you do that because we turn this live stream. We are live on Twitch right now, unless you're watching on demand, then we're not. But we turn this, we are live on Twitch, and we do go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. ish. 10 a.m. ish. It's now 11, so we close-ish. Ish in the grand scheme of ish. It's not too far away. Anyway, we just turn a live stream into a podcast, a video that goes on YouTube, and an audio podcast that goes on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and Google Play and all of the places. Those guys get to watch and listen on demand. I say those guys, that might be you. Hey, how you doing? But they do not get to talk live in the chat. So if you are watching this live, please feel free to get involved on behalf of everyone else. A couple of things to mention. First off, if you are new here and you're watching for the first time, please feel free to hit the follow button. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. I noticed this morning that we are extremely close to 2,500 followers on Twitch now. It doesn't seem too long ago that we hit our big 2K milestone. So if anyone wants to get involved and drop a follow, that would be wonderful, wonderful. I mean, in true ice creamy fashion, the chances are we'll probably do a video giveaway, maybe a video games giveaway. We'll do a giveaway of some sort when we hit 2,500 followers. So tell your friends, bring in the posse, yeah. As well as that exclamation mark loot drop in the chat. Won't do anything because chatbot is not open. Nice, great, good plan. Opening chatbot as I speak. Exclamation mark loot drop in the chat when chatbot is working. We'll tell you about our monthly subscriber giveaway. So you don't have to sub. Just being a viewer is wonderful. A follower is amazing. A subscriber does financially contribute to the stream though, so we try to give back every month by running the loot drop, which is our monthly giveaway for subs only. And the chatbot is open, so if anyone wants to type loot drop, feel free to do that. Exclamation mark loot drop. Nice. Jumping back into the chat then, Mini-Me on Austin Powers always said, "Eee." Well, there you go. There you go. I have played it mainly looting, but I'm ready and waiting to cover Graham while he tries to get his pistol from under a desk. Fuck's sake. The very first thing I did was drop a pistol in a place that I can't pick it back up again. Fuck!
Massively unlucky.
Fit the hollow button. Yes, exactly. As Madge says, fit that hollow. Go on. It's free to fit the hollow. Do it. Do it now. Morning, Madge. How's things, dude? But yeah, if anyone does want to jump in some games with State of Decay, the joy of State of Decay is it's cross-platform, cross-play. So if you've got it on PC or Xbox, you can play together. I've got it on Xbox and by default have it on PC without any extra cost. So that's what I will be playing. I'll be playing on my PC today. Bibby will be playing on his PC. That will follow this show. So yeah, if you do want to jump in some State of Decay games, then feel free to join us for that after the scoop. Excited for State of Decay, babe?
Yes.
Lovely. Do you know what? It's not State of Decay, but I'm I'm quite excited. I'm in the vibe for it. I don't know if you noticed it because when I'm on the Discord call with Bibib, when we go live, he can't see me because I turn my camera off. If I didn't turn my camera off, a couple of things. It would take extra resources, which would probably make the audio shit itself. Also, I would appear in the bottom corner of the Bibby screen. If you watch the video stuff, you can just about see it down there. So I turn it off so it doesn't get in view. But I don't know if you could tell. It's not State of Decay, but I'm wearing my Daymare 1998 t-shirt because I was getting dressed this morning and I thought, I want something that says zombies. So I thought I'm going to put the black baseball cap on because you've got to look like you're fighting for the end of the world if you're playing a zombie game. And then I saw my Daymare t-shirt. It's like, yep, putting that bad boy on. So yeah, not quite State of Decay, but zombies nonetheless. So yeah, nice. G-Quad says, I bet I could get that pistol. That pistol you tried to do some breakdancing for. Yeah, spinning around on the floor for about 45 minutes. I bet you could. If you jump in the game, I bet you would walk over and within 3 seconds you're like, yep, I've got your pistol. There you go, dropped it over here. Boop. So yeah, we'll maybe try that later on. We'll see. Before that, though, let's jump into some news. If you follow us on social media, you will have seen that we have put, as we always do, the lead story out today. So let's jump into that. It's a story that actually affects us because it's something that we're using right now on this stream and use on every stream that has me and Bib and anyone else going forward. Do you use Discord? Do you play games on your PC, your console? Do you use Discord? What about you, Bib?
All the time. It's never off.
Exactly. Well, now Discord has ended the talks that we reported on previously. I think it was a couple of weeks ago now we first started to have this conversation, but Discord ends talks with Microsoft and will remain an independent company. Let me stop. So for those of you who didn't see the story, a couple of weeks back, we reported on the fact that Discord, first off, was available on Microsoft consoles. Basically, Microsoft's Edge browser had been updated to be more receptive to programs that, I don't know if this is the correct wording, but you get the hint, run using Chromium scripts. So basically, Chromium is a programming form, and Discord uses that. So if you have a browser that can incorporate Chromium, you can use Discord in browser. Nice, you can do that on your Xbox. Nice. It wasn't flawless, it wasn't perfect, but that was the first talks. Anyway, after that, there was conversations that Microsoft were potentially going to buy Discord, which kind of got us excited because the idea of Discord working seamlessly on a console just kind of gets rid of that whole party chat nightmare that people have when they want to stream games and have party chat coming through and so on. Anyway, that's where we were a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, it looks like we've had a bit of a U-turn on that. This is written by Stephany Nunneley at VG247. And the article says, looks like Microsoft won't be buying Discord after all. According to a report from the Wall Street Journal, Discord won't be selling, even though there were multiple offers for the company, including one reportedly from Microsoft. Sources have told the Wall Street Journal the company is discussing a potential initial public offering down the line, but according to the report, talks with Microsoft could resume in the future. The Wall Street Journal reports that the company, quotes, fielded interest from at least 3 companies about a deal, but that the service is performing well and that the company plans to remain independent for the foreseeable future. Back in March, 2 different reports stated the company was looking to sell and that it had, quote, an exclusive acquisition discussion with one company that the main runner was Microsoft. Discord is operated by a private company and has over 140 million active users. Nice, brief article, straight to the point. Discord ends talks with Microsoft. What are your thoughts, Bib?
Yeah, I mean, we have talked about this when the news broke that that Microsoft was looking to acquire them. There's been a lot of exclusives and a lot of first-party takings over the last, 5 years. But I genuinely think that this would have been one of the biggest ones. Skype was available on the Xbox One. I'm fairly certain that you could get Discord on it. Now, I don't. I've got an Xbox. I very rarely use it. I've set it up to be able to play Game Pass downstairs. I don't really turn it on still. So forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain you could use a Discord on your Xbox currently now. But they just wanted to take it as an exclusive so that nobody else could use it. I'm glad Discord have kind of moved away from that. So they can still have it, they can use it, they can pay for licensing. That's great. However, this then is available for other platforms. I'd love the PlayStation to be able to use it as well, because I hate using the party function. I hate the fact that when I'm playing 10v10, people don't have Discord on the phones, or they don't have it on the laptop or the tablet or their PC, and we have to use the party chat, because the party chat is absolutely arse, having to navigate through the menus, and then you get added to a party, and then you've got all the chat window open, so every time someone joins a party, that even though you're not in it, it will show that someone's joined. It's a pain in the ass. I love the fact that we have our own Discord, so that we can get people partnering up with each other if they're playing a video game, or very much like we're going to be doing after this, where we can join our Discord. People can join in the conversation. They can literally jump into the chat with us at the same time. Discord is just multifunctional. You use for everything. We use it for work. Like, it's a very, very powerful tool. I like the fact that it's still classed as an independent company. It's not had any kind of bankroll to be a part of anything. So that still excites me, that we could see this prospect maybe on the Nintendo Switch, maybe on the PlayStation somewhere down the line. We have the ability to be able to do that now.
Madge, just reflecting on the yup bit that you answered my question with. Microsoft ends talks with Discord. What are your thoughts, Bib? Yup. Short and sweet, straight to the point. Now, until our second news out this morning. Discord isn't flawless, as you can clearly tell, because when you have what's supposed to be a solid 60 meg connection each way, sometimes the internet just doesn't play ball. So Bibby has to, like, there's that kind of little bit of a disconnect. We've kind of worked a way around it, the way that we will phrase stuff. Most of the time, you hopefully don't notice the disconnect. Sometimes, though, it's quite obvious when I'm sat there going, okay, that's maybe a question. Oh, there we go, he's answering now. Yeah, I mean, this is good for me. Would I like to see Discord get massively bankrolled? Yes. Would I like to see them be able to do everything they want to be able to do? Yes. Do I want them to be bankrolled that has ulterior motives? Not so much. And I say ulterior motives, I don't mean that in a mean way. It's not like Microsoft are trying to create some platform that will shit on gamers, but Microsoft will create a platform that is better for gamers of the Microsoft variety. And Discord works on PC. Discord works on PlayStation. Discord works... no, it doesn't. Like, you use it with the PlayStation. Let me rephrase this. Discord... you can use when you're playing games on PC. You can use when you're playing games on PlayStation. You can use when you're playing games on Switch, if needs be. Obviously, none of this is native unless you're on PC. But that's kind of the joy, is that it works across everything, and you don't have to be tied in to your Outlook email address or whatever. It's not like Oculus, where you have to have a Facebook account. You just have your your Discord account. You can log into multiple servers, and it's so simple. You're not advertised to shit. Yeah, you can put money in. You can go turbo. You can pay for server boosts and other things like that. So there are ways of increasing your expenditure with Discord, but it's not something that you have to do. I've never put a penny into Discord, and we use it more than most people. Maybe that will change, because I appreciate what I've got. Now I'm saying it out loud. But there's nothing forcing me to that. There's no advertising, news feeds, and so on. And don't get me wrong, it will go that way. And I'm not saying that in terms of like a negative sort of everything goes that way. It will go that way. Discord isn't a profitable company as it is. We found out they have to do money raising rounds to keep money coming into the company. They've tried to have their own storefront previously, kind of like Epic have, but that didn't quite work, and so on. So the company is wonderful. The device is wonderful, but as it stands, it doesn't make enough to break even. So eventually we will have some form of monetization, be that advertising, be that subscription services or whatever. It will get there, which I don't want, because I don't want to spend money. I'm cheap. I'm a northern man. Why would I spend money? Fuck this shit. But in reality, I don't mind having to spend that money if it gives me what I have. I don't want to have to spend $7.99, $10.99, whatever the fuck it is a month, 40 quid a year, whatever the subscription cost is, and then still be spammed with newsfeed stuff. I don't want a Facebook situation. I don't want Microsoft going, oh, here's the best game stories that we've picked for you today, and I just want to speak to Bib. Just fuck off with your stories. Go away, man. I want to speak to the guys in our Discord. I want to jump in a group chat on stream talking about the latest podcast or the live stream of Gamescom or whatever. I don't want to be spammed with adverts. So it not going into Microsoft Pocket is good for now, because it postpones that. or it's maybe it doesn't postpone it because it's not anything that's happening now, but it keeps the dream of it being postponed a little bit further away. And it also keeps the danger of segregation, the platform segregation. If you get a Discord app native that works perfectly on Xbox, would they then develop one for PlayStation? I can't see it. I can't see it. I mean, is there a Skype app for PlayStation?
No, I can't.
So,
Nope.
Yeah. I don't mind it.
I think they're definitely going in the right direction. Them staying independent is fantastic for the consumer. Maybe not for them, like you said, they've had to do fundraising and stuff like that in the past. And who was it that I've just seen in the chat as well? Max says I would say they had to have some money pumped into it from somewhere if they are not selling. The cost of hosting Discord must be massive. One-to-one screen sharing in the hundreds of thousands. I agree, because we've had clients before as part of Jelly where we've had to discard them, and when they've previewed their screen, it's only in 720. If you're looking at text on a screen, it's a little bit blurry, so most people will end up putting the £5 or £10 a month in if they use it as a business to be able to get something out of it and to be able to get the top tier stuff. For what we use it for, as in ice cream uploads and having our own Discord, I've used server boosts before. I don't use them all the time because we haven't needed them. I usually use them when we do require them, which is it's few and far between. But as a platform itself, if it comes to the point where they're saying it needs support or it'll be gone, I can pretty much guarantee that most people will happily spend £5 a month to be able to use the access. Just because it's free now is obviously it's available to everyone. The only wall that there is there is that you have to create an account, username and password. That is it. And then you can join whatever servers you want. You can stay with you can create servers between you and your friends that are playing pro clubs, or you can join a community like ours where you have the opportunity to win a free game a month if you subscribe to us. So we use it for a whole host of things. If it does come to a point where you have to pay a certain amount, as long as it doesn't break the bank, I'm fairly certain most people end up using it anyway.
No, I agree. Mad says, not bad. Cheers, and pretty simple unless you're looking at crazy option. Oh, actually, let me see. I may have missed something. Morning, Match. How are you? Just off topic. How easy are the Elgato Stream Decks to set up? Oh, okay, that's what that was the question. Simply put, piss. You can go if you've got a Stream Deck. I mean, I have one in front of me. Bibby has one in front of him. Super easy to set up. They are expensive for what they are. I'm not going to lie in that sense, because it's just a couple of buttons and stuff that you can push, and you can find other ways to work around it. But if you do multiple things at once, they are incredibly useful. So they are expensive, but it's a nice thing to have. And I use my Stream Deck. So when I'm sat here, if I want to switch to Bibby's screen, whoop, there you go. I'll jump on Bibby's screen. There you go. Hey, and I can jump back to my screen. Well, the split screen, sorry. I can put our nameplates on screen. Ta-da! There we go. There's our social media stuff. Bibby, we've got Babinho, Graham, Graham_day. Nice. I can get rid of that. And actually, you know what? Don't want the words on the screens either. Let's get rid of that. All of that is done with the Stream Deck. Right through to that stuff on stream, but mine is linked up through to goodbye lights. Ooh. So I can turn all of the lights off in my broadcast using the Stream Deck as well. So they are super easy to set up and super useful. We did get some free stuff from Elgato. I want to say that as a pointer kind of thing. We did get free stuff from Elgato. We haven't been paid though. So that opinion that I've got is from using the free stuff, not because they've told me to say that. I genuinely believe in it, although I didn't pay for it. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. They are expensive. I didn't have to pay that, but absolutely love my Stream Deck and what I can use it for. Hopefully that helps. Nice.
You're only limited by what you think you need creativity wise. Like mine is super standard. Like I don't have half the stuff that Graham's on there, but it functions for what I need it for. I'm muting mics, changing scenes, having overlays up and on the screen, running a intro, the Scoop one for instance, or the countdown one, or the infomercial. Mine is super simple. So yeah, you're only limited by your creativity, which I don't have any.
I mean, tying it back into Discord, I don't use it very often because most of the time when I'm on Discord, it's just with Bib, and Bib is not streaming because I'm streaming, and we have the one channel that we share. If he was streaming, then that would kind of break things. But when I'm streaming with someone else, should that happen, it's happened a few times, when you've got a cross stream kind of thing, you don't want to be sat there and me talking to Bibby on stream kind of thing, because this is our stream, and then Magic Man, who's in the chat, is streaming as well, and suddenly goes, shout out to William for the 12-month sub, appreciate it, dude. And it's like, oh, okay, well, this is our stream, but cheers, William, for subbing to another channel. So you need to be able to turn your chat off when you're doing multi-stream stuff. So if I'm doing that sort of stuff, the Stream Deck is wonderful. So I've set up a button which is mapped to the keyboard shortcut in Discord for mute mic. So I just go, boop, and then that's it. It kills my mic in Discord. So if I'm playing, let's say I'm playing with Bibby and Toby doing my club stuff, Michael Co-op, as we've done previously. If Toby was streaming at the same time, I wouldn't want to be shouting out our update. So I just hit that one button. I can talk directly to the stream without spamming these guys. That is how useful for a Stream Deck, but that's good for Discord, because you can just bash a button and that's it, instantly mute Discord. I have done that on PlayStation when I've been playing PlayStation before, and the only way that I found to do that super quickly is either have two microphones and have one of them like being a headset mic and having a switch off on and off button on your microphone so that the people in your party chat can't hear it, or literally disconnecting the microphone. You can do it on the PlayStation by going to mute. Going into your party chat and going to mute, but it's clunky and everyone can see it because your gameplay's on the screen and so on. So Discord, once again, is really good because I can just go mute the party chat. I'm not disrupting the people that are still alive in PUBG when they're in a top 10 situation and I'm dead because I died straight off trying to get extra loot or whatever. I can just go mute for that and keep talking to you guys and nobody else gets in the way. So Discord and Stream Deck's both wonderfully useful for that. I like the fact that Stream Deck isn't owned by PlayStation, isn't owned by Xbox. I mean, it is owned by Elgato, which is owned by Corsair, so the same company, but they're not tied to a first party. And that's what makes them super useful, because the Stream Deck will work when I'm streaming on my PlayStation, will work when I'm streaming on my Xbox, because it's just linked up to my PC and it's independent and it's fine. Yes, please. I will like more of that. So Xbox staying independent. Discord staying independent, I love the idea of. Purely because, not because I'm a PlayStation gamer, but because I'm an old gamer. I have a PlayStation there. I have an Xbox Series 1S downstairs. I've not got a Series console yet. I'm not in a particular rush for one, so I am probably leaning more towards PlayStation than Xbox. But I want it to be footloose. I want to be able to play cross-party games on using cross-party communication apps. If we're getting to the point where everything's cross-party, then why do we need someone first-party owning it? We don't. Nice. Okay, let's carry on jumping back through the chat. Would Xbox add Microsoft Teams now? I mean, that's a good question, because like if they bought Discord, would they need Microsoft Teams in that sort of variety? Because we were having this sort of conversation the other day. So Teams kind of has replaced Skype ish. Yeah. But Teams is still pretty corporate. And the thing with Discord is it's not corporate and it's not tied to social networks. So it's not like the issue with Oculus and Facebook's linking is I want something cool. I want to play my VR games. I don't want to go to the place where pictures of my nan has posted pictures of her cat sleeping on the rug and it's like, great, that's what Facebook is. Nice, yeah, great. So the Oculus and Facebook being linked together, I want to just play games. I don't want all of your extra bullshit. And Discord is that. If it links in, you'll have your Microsoft One account sort of stuff. That's when you go live into a chat with Bibby, it tells my great aunt Susie. I don't have a great aunt Susie, but it tells my great aunt Susie that Graham has just joined a chat with Michael. Joined the chat here, and it's like, I don't just want to chat. I literally spat on myself. Fun times. Yeah, don't want it. Get away. EFT community really rely on screen sharing, and Discord is bang on for them. In what way? So how do they rely on the screen sharing? Do tell me more, Mr. Tharian Drake. Hey, appreciate it, dude. Thank you very much for the raid. How are you doing? I don't know if you caught it last week as well. We had a heavy conversation, and you came in with the unofficial raid, and I did get there in the end. But thank you for the raid, and also thank you for raiding another channel of a similar name, but then hosting us afterwards. Either way, we appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you very much, dude. If anyone doesn't know, go check out Tharian Drake. Magic Man has put the link in the chat because he is a mod of dreams. Cheers, Madge.
Yes, he is.
And if you'd have come in just a couple of seconds ago, you'd have seen me spitting on myself. You missed that. So this is the kind of stuff that you miss. So if you want to see a grown man malfunctioning on stream, then feel free to hit the follow button as Kelly and Neko. I don't know. Thank you very much. I'll say Cal for now. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate you being here. Where did we get to? So yeah. I was the EFT comment. EFT rely on screen sharing. There we go. So EFT doesn't have map or system to say who's teammates, so they share screens so they know where each other is team, so they don't attack them. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. So does that apply to DayZ-ish stuff? Because you do have a map in DayZ, I think, right? But you don't have like any on-screen markers. Do they do that in DayZ too? But yeah, I mean, maybe the map stuff does. Neko is okay. Okay, there you go. Neko, maybe we'll just say yes. We'll just say yes. But yeah, exactly. I mean, that's how useful that sort of stuff is. But if you start to have that on your console and built in and things like that, does that start to like interfere with gameplays and stuff? I'm speaking just from a console perspective, or can you still use it? And what if you're on PlayStation and suddenly we get Escape from Tarkov on PlayStation, but Discord becomes Xbox only, or vice versa? Let's say PlayStation go, fuck this, Discord have dropped off. We'll jump in now. It alienates some people. So I want it to be independent or completely everyone's, which is independent. So yes, please, non-dependent. That's what we want. Same thing. Gary Clark. Same but different. Yeah, exactly. Gary Clark says hashtag Cronky out. Hashtag Lasers out. Hashtag all of them out. Get out of here. I was having a conversation last night. Who feels that, jumping back into the European Super League conversation, apologies for the massive tangent. Who feels that the big six should be kicked from the Premier League or have points stocked? Who would like that? I mean, I don't want that. And I don't know whether that's my bias because I'm a fan of one of those teams or not. But me and Danielle were having a conversation last night. And I feel that's punishing the club and the players and the management and the fans more than the chairman and the board. I feel like transfer bans or fucking some sort of marketing ban or some sort of like £50 million, £100 million fine. I know that probably won't really matter to Bibby's boys because they've got 50 million quid just falling off the edge of the desk that they've not even noticed. Oh shit, 50 million quid just on the floor there. Hold on, look.
Yeah.
But yeah, is point reduction / relegation? I mean, I don't know if that will ever be a thing. Would that be the kind of thing that people are hoping for? And if so, are you a fan of one of those clubs? Because yeah, I don't know. I feel it's like the same thing with the whole Jurgen Klopp having to be the front of house and getting attacked by the media kind of thing the other day, when it's like it's not his problem. He's just having to face it kind of thing. Thoughts? Bib, what are your thoughts?
I mean, the City have gone down to the old Division 2 and come back before now. Obviously, that was pre-money. But yeah, like you say, the club as an entity that includes the players, the staff behind the scenes that you will never see. So like the catering staff or whatever, I know it probably won't impact them. It may do if the jobs then become redundant, but the whole coaching staff, players, manager, everyone who makes that club run day to day shouldn't be the ones that get punished for it. However, the only other option is to fine the clubs heavily or not have them go into. So when you win the Premier League, you obviously get a massive windfall. You get entered into European competitions the following year. If you don't end up going into European competitions, that money won't come from UEFA. You won't get the prize money for winning the Premier League because you'll maybe have a points deduction, or the Premier League will just say, yeah, fair enough, you might have won it, but you're not having any money this year. So because we've already played 32 games, I think, is it?
I think some have played 33, but yeah.
Yeah. So we're 95% of the way through the season at this moment in time. So having repercussions now probably isn't the most glorious part of it. But yeah, in terms of fuck it, throw the book. It doesn't bother me because it'll never stop me supporting City. I was super pissed off that, I mean, there's reports that we was the last team to be able to get entered into it, and it was one of them, either join us now or fear being left behind. Fuck it. Like, we've been at war with UEFA for years. This new ESL competition may look good on paper, and it may have been I don't know, a massive amount of money to the club that have lost a lot during the pandemic. All the rest of the other clubs have as well. So why should we be the only ones that are benefiting from it? It makes no sense for a team that's been at war with UEFA. Again, using the example, we played Porto maybe 8 years ago. We got fined more for entering the pitch 30 seconds late than they did for the racist abuse that happened for 90 minutes of that football match. How can that even be the norm? Like the Glenn Kamara incident that happened this month, like the player gets banned for 10 matches for racist abuse, and I think Glenn Kamara may have got one match for having a fight with him down the tunnel. Like how would
It's like 3 matches.
these are
He got a
rules?
10-match ban for racism, and he got a 3-match ban for standing up for himself.
Yeah.
Basically,
So like, who's making these rules? Like, why would we even contemplate it? But at the end of the day, when all said and done, I've always said this about Manchester City is I would growing up in the 90s, we was obviously dog shit and we was fighting relegation after relegation. We was a yo-yo club up and down. Playing in the English Football League as a whole, forget about the Premier League, playing in the Football League from top to bottom is always the history and tradition of any football club, regardless of whether or not you're City, whether or not United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, or Spurs. Playing in those competitions is the bread and butter. That is your be all and end all. If that was ever to come under any kind of scrutiny, it should never have gone ahead.
yeah.
Manchester City should never, ever, ever have
I-
contemplated going into a competition where you get kicked out of a domestic cup, whether or not that be FA Cup, League Cup, fucking Johnson's Paint Trophy, FA Vase, Premier League, all of that. It should never have even got that far.
I hated
And that's what pissed me off the most.
the thing you touched on, the conversations that people were having yesterday, was saying, Chelsea dropped out and then City followed quickly, and these were the last 2 teams to get on board. Like that's some sort of badge of honor. Your Honor, I thought about not murdering the guy, so I still did it.
I fired the last shot.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone else was committing murder, and I thought, you know what, this feels bad. But I did it anyway. It's like you still did it. It doesn't matter how you only committed one murder, whereas they committed murder faster. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, God. No,
So there was some big news that was coming out yesterday during Pep's press conference as well. Like there was reports before he went in that no questions will be asked about it, and then halfway through he just kind of went rogue and did a Q&A. But the majority of the Q&A questions were embargoed, which makes me think that when City governing bodies woke up the following morning after the announcement, there was like, shit, we need to get out of this. So tried to form some kind of letter to go together. Then the embargo was up at 10:30 last night, which coincidentally was very close to City saying that there was going to be pulling out of it. So I'm guessing all yesterday that was always going to be the case that we'd end up pulling out of it, whether or not the other clubs did or not. That was kind of irrelevant, but still, the fact of the matter is, for 48 hours, English football brought disgrace to 6 clubs from the English football brought disgrace to the entire football pyramid, and that's straight from the Premier League all the way down to Sunday League football. There's an opportunity for Sunday League teams to be able to build their way up into the footballing pyramid. At some point, they would have to go through many, many, many seasons of promotions, relegations, whatever it is that it may be. FC United, obviously, are one of those teams as well. So it's bringing a disgrace to the entire English game. I'm not asked about fucking Barcelona or Real Madrid. At the end of the day, they're billions of pounds in debt, and I can actually see why they wanted this, because they have always been part of the problem. And that's rich coming from a City fan whose club has been taken over and had over £1 billion put into it. But at the end of the day, we're a profitable club, regardless of whether or not how much we've spent. We may not be absolutely in the absolute black because of how much money we've spent and how much money that we've actually generated. But we're a profitable club, and we've got projections to be profitable for the foreseeable future. So it made no sense for City to be involved in them conversations in the first place. But at the end of the day, there's only certain people that will suffer, and that's the players, the managers, and the fans, because we will now forever be part of the scummy 6, and that is a tarnish that I never thought the club, like wearing that shirt from 1999, would ever be a part of. But here we are.
I mean, that's the thing.
We are now part of the problem.
Like there was a comment saying something like, I think it was Chuck It Where's it gone? Punishment needs to be severe, but how do you punish just the owners? It's difficult, and that's the shit thing. I mean, that's where we won't go into it now because we don't. This was just a quick tangent to break off talk about it because obviously everyone wants to talk about it. But there's all the conversations about the 51% rule that German football has and so on. There's all the conversations and things like that. I mean, that's where the conversation needs to go for me. I mean, the worst thing for me for this week, beyond all of the obvious worst things, was the scene from Oliver Twist. Please, sir, can I have some more? Where some person that has nothing, that is being hard done to, is just trying to have enough to survive, and then this big authoritative figure goes, more. Some authoritarian that has way too much stuff that it needs. Okay, the media was portraying that guy as the ESL, and FIFA and UEFA are these tiny little, please, sir. The Premier League, please, sir, can I have some more? And it's like, no, you guys are one. You are that person. You just don't show it. In this instance, you don't see that the Premier League are currently sitting on a more hard done to Oliver Twist underneath, and that's all of the other clubs and things below it. The one thing I will say is there's been loads of good comments and social media stuff from players, from managers. United players did a couple last night. I mean, some a bit more direct than others, and so on. All that stuff you can talk about that stuff forever. Does anyone watch or has watched the True Geordie podcast?
Oh yeah,
there was a very very good clip from that shared yesterday, and I always forget his name. Is it Lawrence, the other guy?
Yeah.
Lawrence was basically saying that there's a lot of superlative. There's a lot of people going, it's bad. Oh, it's really bad for the Premier League. And he was like, no. It's bad for the Football League. The Premier League have already done this. They've annexed themselves above everyone else. Their issue is that someone's coming and trying to do that to them. They've done this 30 years ago. And with this, the kind of stuff we spoke about the other day. So, yeah, hopefully, ESL squashed. Nice.
Yeah.
UEFA now get held accountable, and the Premier League get held accountable, because it's the footballing. People keep mentioning the footballing pyramid, and a lot of people, I get the sense, mentioning it, don't realise what it is. It's just something that they should have. But everything from the Championship and down, that's the Football League. Everything around that is add-ons that are leeching money from the prospect of the footballing pyramid. So that's where we kind of need to go.
Yeah. You see, I love Lawrence, and I love the way that he interviews people. I watch 95% of the podcasts that they put up. I don't particularly watch the kickoff because I think when it comes to football, he's a very, very biased Liverpool fan. And obviously he will never admit that, but that's how it comes across from probably a very, very biased City fan. I like to think I'm quite down the middle. I've been on City podcasts. I was on a City podcast 2 weeks ago that I did nothing but talk about Man United, not in a negative way either. But he is very, very biased. But what he said then was absolutely spot on. And you can't disagree with him. But like what Tito was saying, it pisses me off that clubs were citing financial crisis based on COVID. Football has made no steps to tackle wages, transfer fees, or agent fees. Off the top of that, there has obviously been a pandemic. We're not allowed back into the ground at this moment in time. But I can absolutely guarantee that the ticket prices of the clubs will end up going up, considering the majority of the UK haven't been earning a wage or been taking a cut or being funded by the government. Our football club's going to say, actually, it's been a hard time. 20's plenty. And £20 will get you through the turnstiles to go and watch your favourite teams. Are they? Fuck. The season ticket prices are going to be exactly the same, if not higher.
No, it's going to be. It's been a really hard time. It's been a really hard time because we had plans for a European Super League, and we have to find that revenue from somewhere else. So we're looking at you, Mr. Season ticket holder, that's already spending 10 times more than you should be. Anyway, let's put a pin in that. Let's put a pin in that. I'll quickly skip back through the comments. Apologies anyone that dropped from Tharian Drake's stream just as we start talking football stuff. If you're not into football, then we are very much so. So we do talk video games and we do play video games, but we also talk football in and around that. So if this is not what you're tuning in for, my bad. But appreciate the raid once again, Tharian Drake. Thank you, everyone. Discord is literally the best thing ever. Discord for everyone, says Tharian Drake. Yes, please. That's what the conversation was originally about. I did change the discussion now to say ESL. So Discord is now no longer being bought by Microsoft. I mean, it still could be, but for now, no, it isn't. Quick feelings then. Find the club, don't dock points. The fans are the ones upset, and that's punishing them. Feeling a deal was made somewhere so everyone to pull out so quick. Do you know, I agree. The fact that everyone instantly backtracked. PIB. The fact that everyone instantly backtracked, I do kind of feel that there has been some discussion. I mean, there was apparently a meeting or something. I did see some on social media about that last night. So yeah, they've all kind of done something, but just stopping the ESL isn't enough. It needs the reason that happened. It's bullshit, and it shouldn't have happened, but it did happen for a couple of reasons. One, because the powers that be in football aren't perfect, and we know that. I mean, we're talking about UEFA and their shithouse reactions to racism, because it's not. Racism isn't profitable. Reacting to racism isn't profitable. Reacting to racism can actually be the opposite of profitable in the short term, and that is what drives UEFA. So stuff needs to change. So stopping the ESL isn't where it should stop. There should be bigger fundamental changes going about how those organizations need to be more transparent, need to be held more accountable, and can't just go, UEFA, we want to make the Champions League have even more games. Why? Just because more games is more TV revenue, more TV minutes. If there's more TV minutes, then the package that costs, I don't know, fucking $6 billion a year suddenly now costs $8 billion a year. So that's they need to be held accountable and can't just ask more from players and fans and TVs. And yeah, we get it. We know. Nice. Have you guys spoken about the new plans for the UCL? Other than what I've just said? No. No. But yeah, the plans basically are more games for a longer period of time. And that's the essential gist of it, really. Get more, stretch the clubs, stretch the leagues, make more games throughout the weeks and so on. Yeah, nice. Hashtag Coco, hashtag I come a Scot. What the fuck?
What have you been tweeting about?
So breaking news: Mr. Garlic Clark in the chat comes a Scot. So I don't know how you managed to expel a full person from a country just north of England when you peak, but GG's, Gary comes a Scot. Nice, fun times. On that bombshell,
hashtag on Twitter, see what comes up.
Don't do it. David says, I don't follow football, but it sounds to me like when darts split, you're either in one competition or the other. There's no halfway house. You can jump from one to the other, but you have to qualify from scratch for big events. I mean, it's not even like that. It's this. They wanted it to be okay. They essentially wanted to just take over the Champions League and get them fucked off. They didn't. They wanted it to be a separate competition that ran alongside it, but by actively taking a lot of its competitors and have it running alongside the Premier League, it kind of meant that the Champions League would die. So they indirectly were saying, we want to kill the UEFA Champions League, but we also want it so that we are entered and we can never be knocked out and we get shitloads of money. And even if you win the league and we come last, we get more money than you because we're true bloods. And it was just bullshit. Tino says, it pissed me off that clubs were citing a financial crisis based on COVID. Football has made no steps to tackle wages, transfer fees or agents' fees. If they really want to tackle that, then all they had to do was discuss caps. This was about greed, nothing else, keeping a bigger slice of the pie. You're telling me with $6 billion of backing, players wouldn't be asking for bigger wages. I mean, Arsenal sacked and furloughed staff, including poor Gunnosaurus, and then went out and bought Partey and Pepe. That is bad for fans and the game. Exactly. Apologies. I know there is a lot of comments there about this stuff. I will leave most of that. Actually, I won't leave because I've just seen Chucky's comment. That was the other bit. Other UCL point is 2 spots for underperforming teams. I did see that, but I didn't want to comment on it because I only saw one tweet, and it could have been like when you're commenting on your mates, words that you've heard from mates of a mate, and it's not quite the same news. The bit that I saw was if United finished 6th and West Ham finished 5th, United could qualify for the Champions League despite finishing lower, and West Ham could then drop into the Europa League based on basically their financial clout, essentially, is the way that I saw that. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to comment on that because I don't know how true that is. So yeah, I did see that stuff. Bullshit. It's bullshit. It's the same thing. It's Florentino Perez and them lot. What they've done is they've gone, should we draft up plans for Europe that everyone's gonna hate? And no, that's not the European Super League. That is the Champions League. But what do you do then to get people to choose that? Is to give them a bigger enemy and put that in front of it. Okay, everyone's going to hate this idea of the new UEFA Champions League. Let's give them the European Super League and get them to get pissed off at that so we can smuggle this one inside and no one's going to bat an eyelid. That's what it is. Florentino Perez, we're all thinking is an absolute nut job yesterday. He's actually the smartest man in world football. That's what it is. He knows what he's doing. Anyway, I said we're going to stop. We'll stop. Apologies if I've not picked up anyone's comments. We will probably pick this up a few times as the story does develop. Well, whenever this significant develops, we might jump in and have a little bit more. But for now, there has been a significant develop elsewhere in video games. We did have this as a headline story yesterday or the day before, and then I think it was the day before, and then we were going to have it yesterday, and then the stream died yesterday. So we finally got here now. Sony U-turns on PS3 and Vita store closures. We made the wrong decision. So as you can see, this is written on the 19th, 2 days ago when we were first going to talk about it, but the PSP store will still close as planned in July. Andy Robertson at VGC says, Sony Interactive Entertainment has U-turned on a decision to close the PlayStation 3 and PS Vita digital stores. In a statement published on Monday, SIE President Jim Ryan said that the platform holder had realised that it had, quote, made the wrong decision in planning to close the stores. Users will continue to be able to purchase digital games on PS3 and PS Vita, but the PSP store will be closed as planned on July the 2nd. Quote, recently, we notified players that the PlayStation store for PS3 and PS Vita devices was planned to end this summer, Ryan said. Upon further reflection, however, it's clear that we made the wrong decision here. So today, I'm happy to say that we will be keeping the PlayStation store operational for PS3 and PS Vita devices. PSP commerce functionality will retire on July 2nd, 2021, as planned. He added, quote, when we initially came to the decision to end purchasing support for PS3 and PS Vita, it was born out of a number of factors, including commerce support challenges for older devices and the ability for us to focus more of our resources on newer devices where a majority of our gamers are playing on. Quote, we see now that many of you are incredibly passionate about being able to continue purchasing classic games on PS3 and PS Vita for the foreseeable future, so I'm glad we were able to find a solution to continue operations. I'm glad that we can keep this piece of our history alive for gamers to enjoy while we continue to create cutting-edge new game worlds for PS4, PS5, and the next generation of VR. VGC analysis had suggested that around 140 PlayStation games would no longer be available for purchase in any form when Sony closed the PSP, PS Vita, and PS3 stores as initially planned. Now, a far smaller number of titles, around 35 digital-only PSP games, will disappear following the July store closure. Although users will still be able to re-download their previous purchase for the foreseeable future from July the 2nd, it will no longer be possible to buy games on the PSP online marketplace. Let's stop there. So, backtrack. Bit of a U-turn. PS3 and Vita stores will not be closed. The PSP will disappear as planned, but at least 2 of the 3 will remain. What are your thoughts, Bib?
Yeah, I mean, quite a lot of the PSP games you can actually get on the PS Vita anyway through the storefront. Oh, that was my experience. The last time I picked one, I need to replace the battery in my PS Vita because it's fucked. It won't switch on whatsoever. I loved my PS Vita. It just didn't get the support that was required. However, again, it comes back to fanfare. It comes for fighting for whatever you want. And again, there's been enough interest that's been drummed up with people wanting to continue the legacy of the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation Vita. PSP is a little bit of a different beast because when did it come out? 2005, maybe? PSP release date. That's something like 2005. Yeah.
Boom.
March 24th, 2005. So
that, baby,
that's
man
16
of
years.
PSP affection. He knows it so much that he knows exactly when it came out.
Still use mine. I play Pro Evos on them and Final Fantasy Crisis Core because that's a fantastic game that never gets talked about as much as it probably should do. But anyway, I did love my PSP. It's a shame that it's going to be disbanding and you won't be able to get the games. I mean, physical games will never die. That's the problem with digital storefronts, and that's the future that we have kind of put all our eggs into that basket at this point. But it is what it is. It's 16 years old. It's probably time for it to retire. But yeah, the PlayStation Vita and the PlayStation 3 will still live on. That is absolutely fantastic news for those people who still have that console as a day-to-day stuff. There is people like Mystique who create content on YouTube who log into
and
games
with the
like
ISTWQ. All I want is to be with you. Okay, no, that's enough of that. Sorry, my bad.
Who still create content on YouTube by going into lobbies on PlayStation 3 games and ask people why they're still playing games on their PlayStation 3. And a lot of the reasons is because people can't afford newer consoles, so they can get cut price games. The online servers are still on for quite a few games on there. There's still a market there. So yeah, it's a win-win for everyone at this moment in time. Maybe not for Sony because they have to pay more in probably keeping the servers up for a lot of games than they probably would do for the money that they get back through by people buying and using those storefronts. But it is what it is. I'm fairly certain they'll be able to write off however much it costs.
See, my biggest win out of this is something that we probably can't see and won't see for a generation, is the fact that if Sony have had this backlash, then it shows you that Microsoft's, for me, it's not so much of a problem. I don't play older games as much. But Microsoft's plan to have backwards compatibility is not something that they've just done to sell new consoles. They did that through a generation where they were behind. All of the Xbox One generation, they were the second console, the inferior console to the PlayStation. It just had better games, more users. It just nailed everything. That was the only thing that Xbox really nailed, and it took a bit of a while for them to get some traction with it. It was nice to have old games, I think, kind of nice. But I think by pushing that message and allowing that to be something that is it's not just people like Bibby who buy like SCART to HDMI conversion devices to play his games on stream or whatever. So it's not just people like that play games anymore. It's actually, I want to go back and I want to play the first Metal Gear Solid, or I want to go back and play. I mean, obviously that's not an Xbox game; that's a PS1 kind of game. But it's if you want to do that, you can just whip out your Xbox One now. Bosh. Obviously, once again, not Metal Gear Solid. You could just pick out older games and fire them up, and that started to not say create a niche, but it started to open the eyes of a lot more people now, to the point where it's created enough of a groundswell that Sony has gone, okay, we're closing stores. And then gone, actually, fuck, no, we're not. Okay, people want this stuff. And at this point now, Sony have to be thinking about maybe not backwards compatibility, but forwards compatibility. Their next console will be backwards. Or they'll be thinking about how they develop stuff so that the next console can just run it. Stuff made now will have more eyes on forwards compatibility, and stuff in the future will have more eyes on backwards compatibility. And that is, as Magic Man said, again, fueled by customer outrage and heavy social media reporting. So GG. Exactly. GG's, people. I mean, this is it. I mean, where was the other comment? Iceman, a time of U-turns. Discord/Microsoft, ESL, Sony, and Microsoft on their own when it comes to, we're going to charge you a fortune for Xbox Live now. Nope. Everyone spat the dummies out the spat the dummies out the mouths. I mean, it's a shit choice of turn of phrase, because that sounds like you've just been a crybaby. I mean, people kicked off, and rightly so, about Microsoft changing the price of Xbox Live, got the price increase squashed, and actually got Xbox to go, do you know what? We're going to make free-to-play games free-to-play. You don't need Xbox Live to play Fortnite anymore, which it should have always been that way, but people kicking off has done stuff. So it's nice to see consumer power making things happen, and I hope we see more of it, because it just doesn't happen as much anymore. There's a lot more avenues for people to vent and share their opinions than there ever has been, but it almost kind of didn't correlate. People can be more vocal than they ever had been, but companies just did what they wanted because they also have more revenue streams. So don't really need to listen to you. You're gonna buy it anyway, and you're not, but everyone else around you is. So you're gonna buy it then as a result, because you can't do anything about it. And look, it's nice to see the customers getting some wins. So yeah, let's go, boys. Let's go. Why they've been off PlayStation communities? I just don't think they were being used. I mean, it's the shit. The shit thing is, admittedly, PlayStation communities weren't being used enough to justify it, and that's the key phrase there, enough, because people will be using them, or would have been using them. I don't know if they've closed yet, and if you were one of those users, it's going to be a massive loss. It's the same thing like when some sites will have closed forums and the like, because there are Facebook groups, there are Discord servers, and there are social media platforms now. And the numbers for the forums dwindle to the point that the cost to update vBulletin or whatever the feck you're running it on just isn't enough. There isn't enough there to justify when it's free to run a Twitter account. You need the staffing, but you needed that for your forum anyway. So they just
Discord's free.
Exactly. So it'll be a case of the community stuff. That's a bit different from the digital storefront. The digital storefront is losing access to created content. That's like someone saying all the books in that library, yeah, they're too old now, so you can't have those books ever again. All of that knowledge and education and wisdom, no, that's gone. I mean, games aren't always knowledge, education, and wisdom, but they are experiences, just like books can be as well. And getting rid of the PS3 store means that games that are only available digitally on PS3 will never be available again. Getting rid of the Vita store, games that are digitally only available on Vita will never be available again, unless we get limited run games. But so they are much more significant losses than something like Communities. And the fact that they're not going is nice. GG's. I might see if there's a new cracked firmware for the 1000 series PSP, because I might have a lot of game ROMs coming my way. It was good for finding pro clubs, teams, and players. Breaking: AC Milan set to leave ESL. Never. I don't believe this. I don't believe it. Yeah, they'll all be going. Just Florentino.
There's no point in sticking around.
Nah.
They're not getting anything out of it.
I mean, once you've lost, and this is a bit of an ego, probably because I'm English, but once you lose the Premiership teams, that is a huge financial drain then. You've not got the Bundesliga, you've not got Liga 1, as Bibby would say, and you've not got... what's your favourite team from the league that begins with L, Bib?
Is it Leon?
It is, that's the one, yeah! So... Yeah, you've got not Liga 1, you've not got the Bundesliga, and you've not got the Premier League. And Atletico have already pulled out, and Barcelona, the last I heard, were wavering. I don't know whether they've actually done it. It doesn't surprise me. They're all in the process of pulling out. That's what she said now. Exactly. Anyway, do you know what? Let's have enough of reversals and going back on things. But let's jump to Xbox, and we'll pick up the pace now because we're running out of time. But let's pick up the pace. I've said that already. Let's jump to Xbox, talk about stuff that's not been reversed, but stuff that is actually going forward, with things you love to see. But Don Peppiatt at VG247 says Xbox Cloud Gaming Beta rolling out for PC and iOS. Yay! Xbox Cloud Gaming is launching in limited beta on Chrome and Edge browsers for Windows 10 PCs and the Safari browser for Apple mobile phones and tablets from tomorrow. In a statement on the Xbox blog, Catherine Gluckstein, I'm saying Gluckstein like I'm full on German. It could be Catherine Gluckstein, Vice President and Head Product of Project for Project xCloud, confirmed that Xbox Cloud Gaming is hitting more platforms on April the 20th, which was yesterday. Nice. Allowing select users signed up to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate to demo the streaming tech on new platforms. Quote, starting tomorrow, yesterday, we'll begin sending out invites to select Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members to start testing the Xbox Cloud Gaming Limited Beta for Windows 10 PCs and Apple phones and tablets via web browsers, said Gluckstein. We're launching xbox.com/play, where invitees can play over 100 Xbox Game Pass titles through Edge, Google Chrome, or Safari. Offering cloud gaming through the browser and having simplified universal landing pages presents a great opportunity to make cloud gaming approachable to more players in more places over time. If you're lucky enough to be invited, you'll be pleased to learn that the service supports Bluetooth and USB connected controllers, even via browser, no matter what platform you're playing on. Microsoft also noted that over 50 titles have custom touch controls, something the company has been working on for a while. I mean, that bit not so much bothered about, but the rest of it nice. These invites will be sent out to the same 22 countries that the Xbox Game Pass is already available in, and there's no mention of wider international support in this specific blog post. Let's stop there. Xbox Cloud Gaming is coming to PC, iOS. I know you're a big fan of iPhones, babe. Not-ish. He is. He isn't. I don't know. Maybe both. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's good that it's starting to move into the iPhone users as well, because it's a massive market for them not to be in. So it's good that they've started to move over. I don't know how much. I mean, it's not even an app, is it? They have to use the browser, is it? I think that's what the article said, maybe.
Yeah. So iOS definitely has no app because they're still not. There was the issue with xCloud wanted to release on iOS, and they had to pull it at the last minute because Apple wouldn't grant them access to the App Store unless every single game had an individual effectively Apple's version of the PEGI rating system for every title. So they didn't do it. So yeah, now you have to play it through the browser.
Yeah, so they still haven't had that handshake with Apple yet. They're just finding ways of getting around it. So it's unfortunate that they haven't got a designated app to be able to do it, but it's a step in the right direction in terms of people being able to play games whenever they want for a subscription that they are paying for. So I imagine this may they can't ban a website, can they? Apple, they can't just blacklist a website on a mobile device. That's not possible, is it?
No, this is fine. This is fine. I remember conversations with Apple when it all came out before. I did a little bit of digging on it, not too much, and when we covered it at that point in time, where xCloud, it's amazing. It's so much better than Stadia. I mean, it clearly is, because Stadia doesn't really exist anymore, or it won't do anyway. And xCloud was they were already agreeing. They'd got the app for beta testing on phones, and then it got pulled because of all of that weird licensing shit, purely because Apple is thinking about money and wants to protect Apple Arcade. But Apple did say that if they were to do stuff like that through the browser, that's fine. But anything that is on an app through the App Store, it would need separate licensing for. So Apple, unless they change their stance on this is perfectly fine, and Xbox can do what they want to do.
Can you tie your Xbox controller to an iPhone? Can you do that on an iPad?
You can, and I know that generally because I remember Apple selling Xbox controllers in Apple stores, and also the fact that I bought that weird little adapter thing for attaching my DualSense controllers to my phone. So you can, and this article even mentioned as well something. I'll see if I can find it. Oh yeah, the service supports Bluetooth and USB connected controllers, even via browser, no matter what platform you're playing on. So that means that you should be able to play. If you want to play games on your phone, that's fine. The interesting thing is now iPhone users will be able to play Fortnite on their phone using their controller. so Fortnite on the iPhone, welcome back.
Well, I know that the 8-bit Do controllers were a massive thing for iOS users for using Apple Arcade. Again, I imagine that controller will probably work with Xbox Game Pass as well. So it's a win-win for everyone involved.
8-bit Do.
Mate.
So yeah, there you go. If Game Pass went on the Switch for xCloud Play, I'd buy one, says Plum Rico. Good morning. Big fingers on the screen just doesn't work for me. It's done through Safari. It will be a massive data drinker though. Yeah, for sure. You'd need to be tethered to a Wi-Fi connection, because if not, and you need a good one as well, because if you think the fact that you're playing a game remotely, so you're cloud gaming with a cloud device, effectively that Bluetooth connection for your device, and then Wi-Fiing up to the cloud, you're going to have massive potential for lag, desync, and all of the rest. So I say Fortnite will be back for a game like Fortnite, where you can in 0.3 seconds build the Taj Mahal if you've got the skill of the builders that I play against. Whereas in 0.3 seconds, I'm still looking down at my pad to figure out where the LT button is. I've just headbutt the mic. Nice, great plan. So yeah, some games probably not going to be the greatest, at least for the foreseeable, maybe. But nice, still things moving forward, things you absolutely 100% love to see. Anyway, let's wrap things up with one final news article. I'll quickly fly through this one because it kind of tells itself. Wes Yin-Poole at Eurogamer says Rockstar issues surprise updates for LA Noire and Max Payne 3 on PC and throws in all the DLC for free. It's a steal. So Rockstar has issued surprise updates to LA Noire and Max Payne 3 on PC, throwing in all the DLC for free. Both games have also seen support for 32-bit operating systems deprecated. One of the not defecated, that's something else. One of note, the LA Noire changes do not apply to LA Noire, the VR case files versions of the game. These updates were quietly issued yesterday, 19th of April. The same day, Rockstar somehow managed to delist its entire PC catalog on Steam before relisting it again. Midnight Club 2 was briefly available to buy for the first time in 3 years. Perhaps someone somewhere at Rockstar fell on a load of PC publishing buttons or something. LA Noire launched in PC in November 2011, and Max Payne 3 hit PC June 2012. I'm not sure why Rockstar has decided to issue these updates now, all these years after the game's launched. Clearly someone forgot to press the button. But given it's throwing free DLC around, the updates are welcome. So there you go. If you want to play yourself some L.A. Noire or Max Payne 3, I mean, I liked L.A. Noire and never finished it on the PS3. So yeah, I don't have it on the PC. But, you know, extra DLC for free? Yes, please. Didn't you say that or was it you or was it Samantha plays a lot of Elden Ring or had played it and was going to play it?
It's her favourite game ever. Believe it or not, it is. I mean, I absolutely loved that game anyway. But that and Sleeping Dogs are her two favourite games. So, yeah, I mean, she's not going to be playing it on PC because she doesn't have one. But if it was on the PS4, then it'd be fantastic. But it's not. It just looks like it's come to PC, which is so weird. But it is what it is. Free DLC, fantastic game, and that's not even touching Max Payne because I haven't played a Max Payne game for ever. I don't even think I played Max Payne 3. So
I've not played Max Payne. So there you go. There you go. There you go. Max No Pain getting the DLC free. Hey. That was a little bit forced, but we'll let it slide. Lake says, I bought Max Payne 3 at launch. It's PC and never finished it. I love Max Payne 1 and 2, but 3 just did not feel like Max Payne. Well, now you can give it a try. You know, 7-8 years on, give it a try. Get extra DLC in it. Job's a good one. Lovely. Lovely. But that's it. That's it. That's the news. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for the news today and the addition of the ESL storyline. For those of you who don't know what the conversations were, we had a talk about the European Super League. In and amongst the main stories, which were that Discord has ended its talks with Microsoft. It's now not going to be bought out by the company and will remain independent, at least for the foreseeable. Sony U-turns on the PS3 and Vita store closures. The PSP store is still closing. Xbox's cloud gaming beta will be rolling out, or has already started to roll out, to PC and iOS users. So if you're already an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate user, check your emails. You might have something in your spam that says that you could be playing this and testing this right now. And then finally, Rockstar has updated some games that are 7 or 8 years old. Why? Just because they can. So there you go. Fun times. That's it for the scoop, though. We are going to disappear. We're going to drop off and quickly jump back on again with some State of Decay 2. So if you're around and you want to see some gameplay, then feel free to do that. Do you know what? We might not even end the stream as well. We'll see if we can. Just like wrap things up, change the title, and stay live. Job's a good one. Yeah. I don't know. I'm saying that. I've not even consulted Bib on this. I don't know what his plans are yet. He might be needing a turd. We'll figure this out still. Yeah. So anyway, we'll put the end slate up.
Turd, that.
What's that?
So it's pretty sure. Oh, Iceman, happy birthday. Bit of entertainment for my birthday. Happy birthday, big man.
Okay. You may have seen this on other Twitch channels. It's a legally binding contract that everyone in the chat has to sing along by typing the words to the happy birthday song in full in the chat. So on 3, 1, 2, 3, happy. But no, okay, no one's doing it. Come on, 1, 2, 3, happy. Okay, no one's doing it. 1, 2, 3, happy. Hey, Bibi did it. At least one. Yeah. Happy birthday, Aspen.
I tried to do it as fast as I could. I'll copy and paste that. I can do this.
Yeah, just imagine fucking like a stream full of people just typing the word happy and then everyone writes
everyone's trying.
That would be an absolute shit show. I appreciate it. Hey, Tino, getting involved. Happy birthday to you. See, that the typo is feeling. That's him trying to give you the pace. So we appreciate this. Gary Clark's getting involved as well. There you go. Dear Iceman. Happy
birthday. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. Copy and paste.
Birthday to you. Hey! Happy birthday, Iceman. See, if you want your birthday to be an absolute calamity like we've just made Iceman's, then feel free to join us for future streams and let us know when it's your birthday too. Happy birthday. Hey. So yeah, thank you everyone, especially Iceman, for being here. We are going to disappear. We will jump back on with some gameplay. The stream might end. The stream might not end. Do you know what? The best thing to do is just linger in the chat. And if you haven't already, feel free to hit the follow button. It doesn't cost you a penny to follow us. And you do get notified on Twitch, if you're on Twitch, or on your phone when we do go live. So that's the best way. So drop a follow now. Do it now. Before we do disappear and come back though, Bib, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yes, again, thank you very much for joining. It's Wednesday, isn't it? Jesus, this week's gone so fast. Thank you very much for joining us on Wednesday. Happy Hump Day, and obviously Iceman's birthday. But thank you very much for joining us. If you do want to shape our show, then there's two ways that you can do that. First of all, find us on social medias at Ice Cream World across all major social media platforms, or get into our Discord. If you do need the links to any of those things, if you're watching this on demand, go into the description below. All of those will be there for you. All we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We would then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
Tomorrow's show's going to be at 10 a.m. Ish. 10 a.m. ish. So yeah, we go live at 10 a.m. ish each and every single weekday. So we'd like to see you come back for that. Before we disappear, one thing that I haven't mentioned for 31 minutes now, and I keep seeing it and keep going, I'm going to mention that and then get distracted, is Pirates. I did hear the hello treacle message that came along with your 18-month subscription. That's 2 babies. Appreciate you for 18 whole months. Thank you very much, Pirate. Number 1 Pirate dropping an 18-month subscription 32 minutes ago now. Appreciate it very, very much. I love you.
Hero stuff.
I love you.
Absolute shagger.
We love every single one of you, whether you can sub or not. Just being here in the chat helps us. Dropping a raid, dropping a host, doing all of that stuff. Massively appreciate it. We massively appreciate it, as well as massively appreciate it. If you can contribute with subs and stuff, wonderful, but you don't have to. And it makes us warm when you do. Anyway, thank you. We are going to drop off. We will be back with State of Decay. If you've got State of Decay on your Xbox or on your PC, jump in. We'll play with some games. Play with some people. Nice for some games. You get what I'm saying? I fucked it up, but you get it anyway. Bye! Until then, stay frosty!
Stay frosty!